Forecasting is pivotal for strategic business decisions, blending data analysis with market insight. These 20 interview questions and concise answers prepare you to excel in roles requiring predictive expertise, ensuring success in dynamic industries like finance and retail. 1. What is forecasting, and why is it important in business? Forecasting predicts future outcomes using historical data, enabling businesses to plan effectively. It's vital for inventory management, budgeting, and strategic decisions, reducing risks and optimizing resources. For example, accurate demand forecasting in retail prevents overstocking, saving costs. In finance, it aids investment planning. Forecasting combines statistical models and judgment to account for trends and uncertainties, ensuring adaptability in dynamic markets. By anticipating future conditions, businesses can set realistic goals, improve efficiency, and stay competitive. My experience with time series models has helped organizations achieve precise forecasts, enhancing decision-making and operational success. 2. What are the main types of forecasting methods? Forecasting methods are divided into quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative methods, like time series analysis, regression, and moving averages, use historical data for statistical predictions. Time series identifies trends, while regression analyzes variable relationships. Qualitative methods, such as Delphi or market research, rely on expert judgment when data is scarce, like for new products. In my experience, I've used ARIMA for time series forecasting in retail and Delphi for new market entries, ensuring accurate predictions. Combining both approaches enhances forecast reliability, addressing data-driven and subjective factors for robust business planning. 3. What is time series data, and why is it used in forecasting? Time series data is a sequence of data points collected over time, like daily sales or monthly temperatures. It's used in forecasting to identify patterns, trends, and seasonality for accurate predictions. Components include trend, long-term direction, seasonality, recurring patterns, cyclical, long-term fluctuations, and random noise. In retail, time series helps forecast demand, optimizing inventory. I've used time series analysis with ARIMA models to predict sales trends, ensuring precise stock management. Its structured approach allows businesses to anticipate future outcomes, supporting strategic decisions in dynamic environments like finance or supply chain management. 4. What are the components of a time series? Time series data comprises 4 components: trend, seasonality, cyclical, and random. Trend reflects the long-term direction, like rising sales. Seasonality captures recurring patterns, such as holiday spikes. Cyclical components involve longer-term fluctuations, like economic cycles. Random noise represents unpredictable variations. Understanding these components ensures accurate forecasting by selecting appropriate models, like ARIMA for trends or seasonal adjustments for retail demand. In my projects, I've decomposed time series to isolate seasonality, improving forecast precision for inventory planning, ensuring businesses align resources with expected demand patterns effectively. 5. What is the difference between moving average and exponential smoothing? Moving average calculates the average of a fixed number of past data points, equally weighting them, ideal for smoothing short-term fluctuations but slow to react to trends. Exponential smoothing assigns higher weights to recent data, using a smoothing constant, making it more responsive to changes. For example, in sales forecasting, I used moving averages for stable data and exponential smoothing for volatile trends, improving accuracy. Moving averages are simpler but lag, while exponential smoothing adapts faster, suiting dynamic markets like retail or finance for timely predictions. 6. What is the ARIMA model, and how does it work? ARIMA, Autoregressive Integrated Moving Average, is a statistical model for time series forecasting. It combines autoregressive, AR, terms, using past values, integrated, differencing to remove trends, and moving average, MA, terms, incorporating past errors. For example, in retail, I used ARIMA to forecast monthly sales, adjusting for non-stationarity. By identifying optimal AR, and MA parameters, ARIMA predicts future values accurately. Its flexibility handles various time series patterns, making it ideal for finance or inventory planning, ensuring precise predictions despite complex data trends. 7. How do you measure forecast accuracy? Forecast accuracy is measured using metrics like mean absolute error, MAE, mean squared error, MSE, root mean squared error, RMSE, and mean absolute percentage error, MAPE. MAE calculates average absolute errors, while RMSE emphasizes larger errors. In a retail project, I used MAPE to assess demand forecast accuracy, achieving a 5% error rate, guiding inventory adjustments. These metrics help compare models, identify biases, and improve predictions. By analyzing errors, I ensure forecasts align with actual outcomes, supporting reliable business decisions in dynamic environments like supply chain management. 8. What is a forecast error, and how is it interpreted? A forecast error is the difference between actual and predicted values, indicating model accuracy. It's calculated as actual, forecasted. Common measures include mean absolute error, MAE, and root mean squared error, RMSE. In a sales forecasting project, I used MAE to quantify errors, revealing a 3% deviation, prompting model refinement. Interpreting errors helps identify biases or trends, guiding adjustments in models like ARIMA. Understanding errors ensures forecasts are reliable, supporting effective decision-making in areas like inventory or financial planning, minimizing risks in dynamic business environments. 9. How do you handle seasonality in forecasting? Seasonality, recurring patterns in data, is handled by identifying and modeling it using techniques like time series decomposition or seasonal ARIMA. In a retail project, I decomposed sales data to isolate seasonal peaks during holidays, improving forecast accuracy by 10%. Seasonal ARIMA adjusts for these patterns by incorporating seasonal differencing. I also use Fourier terms for complex seasonality. These methods ensure forecasts account for predictable fluctuations, optimizing inventory or resource planning. By addressing seasonality, businesses can align strategies with expected demand, enhancing efficiency in dynamic markets like retail or finance. 10. What are the challenges of forecasting in dynamic environments? Forecasting in dynamic environments faces challenges like data volatility, external disruptions, for example economic shifts, and incomplete data. In a supply chain project, I addressed volatility by incorporating real-time data, reducing errors by 8%. Strategies include using adaptive models like exponential smoothing and monitoring market trends. Regular model updates and collaboration with business teams ensure forecasts reflect current conditions. By staying agile and leveraging robust data sources, I maintain accuracy despite uncertainties, enabling businesses to make informed decisions in fast-changing markets like retail or finance, minimizing risks and optimizing resources. 11. How do you communicate forecasting results to non-technical stakeholders? Communicating forecasting results to non-technical stakeholders involves simplifying complex data using clear language, visualizations, and real-world examples. In a retail project, I used charts to show demand trends, explaining impacts on inventory in simple terms. I avoid jargon, focusing on actionable insights, like how forecasts affect budgeting. Tailoring explanations to the audience's needs ensures clarity. For instance, I presented a 5% sales increase prediction to executives, linking it to revenue goals. Effective communication builds trust, aligns stakeholders with forecasts, and supports strategic decisions in business planning or resource allocation. 12. What role does judgment play in forecasting? Judgment in forecasting complements quantitative models by incorporating qualitative factors like market trends or expert insights. In a new product launch, I adjusted statistical forecasts using competitor analysis, improving accuracy by 7%. Judgment helps interpret model limitations, adjust for unforeseen events, and refine predictions when data is scarce. For example, during an economic shift, I integrated expert input to modify retail forecasts. Combining judgment with models ensures robust predictions, addressing gaps in historical data and aligning forecasts with real-world dynamics, critical for effective decision-making in business or financial planning. 13. How do you forecast demand for a new product? Forecasting demand for a new product involves combining qualitative and quantitative methods. I use market research, surveys, and competitor analysis to estimate demand, supplemented by historical data from similar products. In a project, I analyzed analogous product sales, adjusting for market trends, achieving a 90% accuracy rate. Techniques like Delphi or regression with external variables help. Collaboration with marketing ensures alignment with promotional plans. This approach accounts for uncertainties, providing reliable forecasts for inventory or budgeting, enabling businesses to launch products confidently in competitive markets like retail or technology. 14. What are common applications of forecasting in industries? Forecasting is vital across industries. In retail, it supports demand forecasting for inventory and pricing strategies. In manufacturing, it aids production planning and supply chain optimization. In finance, it guides investment and risk management. For example, I used time series forecasting in retail to predict holiday sales, reducing overstock by 15%. In finance, I forecasted cash flows, improving budgeting accuracy. These applications ensure efficient resource allocation, cost reduction, and strategic planning, enabling businesses to anticipate market trends and make data-driven decisions in dynamic environments like retail or financial services. 15. What ethical considerations are involved in forecasting? Ethical considerations in forecasting include data privacy, transparency, objectivity, accountability, and social impact. I ensure data is handled responsibly, protecting sensitive information. Transparency in methodology builds trust, while objectivity prevents bias in model selection. In a project, I disclosed assumptions to stakeholders, ensuring accountability. Avoiding discriminatory outcomes is critical, like ensuring equitable demand forecasts in retail. I also consider the social consequences of forecasts, such as workforce impacts. Adhering to ethical standards ensures reliable, fair predictions, fostering trust and supporting responsible decision-making in business or public policy contexts. 16. How do you evaluate the performance of forecasting models? Evaluating forecasting model performance involves metrics like mean absolute error, MAE, mean squared error, MSE, root mean squared error, RMSE, and mean absolute percentage error, MAPE. In a retail project, I used MAPE to compare ARIMA and exponential smoothing, selecting the model with a 4% error rate. These metrics quantify prediction accuracy, highlighting biases or inconsistencies. Cross-validation ensures robustness on unseen data. By analyzing errors, I refine models, ensuring reliable forecasts for inventory or financial planning, supporting data-driven decisions in dynamic business environments like retail or supply chain management. 17. What are the limitations of quantitative forecasting models? Quantitative forecasting models rely on historical data, which may be incomplete or unreliable, leading to inaccurate predictions. They struggle with external shocks, like economic crises, and may not capture qualitative factors. In a project, poor data quality increased forecast errors by 10%, which I mitigated using robust preprocessing. Models like ARIMA assume stationarity, limiting applicability. Combining quantitative models with judgment and real-time data helps address these issues, ensuring more accurate forecasts. Understanding limitations allows me to select appropriate models, enhancing reliability for business planning in dynamic environments like retail or finance. 18. How do you incorporate external factors into forecasts? Incorporating external factors into forecasts involves using variables like economic trends, competitor actions, or market shifts. In a retail project, I included economic indicators in a regression model, improving demand forecast accuracy by 8%. Techniques like causal modeling or scenario analysis help integrate these factors. I also collaborate with marketing teams to account for promotions. Monitoring real-time data ensures adaptability to unforeseen events, like supply chain disruptions. This approach ensures forecasts reflect real-world dynamics, supporting robust decision-making in industries like retail or finance, where external factors significantly impact outcomes. 19. Can you share an example of a forecasting project you worked on? In a retail forecasting project, I predicted holiday sales using ARIMA models. The challenge was handling seasonality and data gaps. I decomposed the time series to isolate trends and seasonality, achieving a 95% accuracy rate. Collaboration with marketing ensured promotional impacts were included. The forecast reduced overstock by 12%, saving costs. I addressed data gaps by integrating external market trends, refining predictions. This project showcased my ability to combine statistical techniques and domain knowledge, delivering actionable insights for inventory management, enhancing business efficiency in a competitive retail environment. 20. How does forecasting help organizations make better decisions? Forecasting helps organizations make informed decisions by predicting future trends, enabling proactive planning. In a financial project, I forecasted cash flows, improving budgeting accuracy by 10%, which optimized resource allocation. It reduces risks by anticipating market shifts, like demand fluctuations in retail, ensuring efficient inventory management. Forecasts align strategies with goals, supporting investment or staffing decisions. By integrating data-driven insights and judgment, forecasting enhances agility in dynamic markets. My experience with time series models has driven better decision-making, helping businesses stay competitive and achieve long-term success in finance or supply chain operations. Mastering these 20 forecasting interview questions equips you to showcase analytical skills, technical expertise, and practical application in roles like demand planner or analyst. Preparation ensures confident, concise responses, enhancing your career prospects in 2025's competitive job market.